Okay guys, we're going to be going over workshop 2. So take a moment and pause the video, open up Solidworks, and put it in split screen view with workshop 2 part in your homework in the file we'll upload for the Google Drive. Once you have it open, click on this white sheet and click part, okay, and it should open up a new Solidworks file. Okay, before we start, first things first, come down here and check what unit you're going to be using. So we're going to be using units inch per second, units inches per second, inches pounds second, my bad. So IPS, click on IPS, bottom right corner. Now we can get started. So first things first, also add your material. We're going to be using aluminum 6063 T6. So right click on material, click on edit material. A new page should open up. On this new page, go down to the aluminum file and I'll scroll down to 6063 T6. There we go. Apply. Click apply and close the screen. Okay, now also there's something called equations in SolidWorks. And you can tell when you're going to use them because every time you open up your dimensions or whatever you're going to design, there's letters like angle D, length difference C, length B, length A. So up here we have A, B, C, D, and it gives you different lengths in inches. Okay, so we're going to be applying these equations. Don't worry about configuration 2 for now. We're going to worry about configuration 1, and further in the video we'll talk about configuration 2. Okay, so you're going to have equations right here in your feature manager tree, but in case you don't, you're going to go up to the little gear looking thing called options, click on it, and go down, scroll down till you find feature manager. Again, scroll down and scroll to your right. It should be the first one on the top right lane, and make sure it's shown, not automatic, not hide, but shown. Okay, now again, right click, manage equations. Okay, so another screen should pop up. Because of the recording, I can't really show you all the screens that are going to pop up, but it's going to say global variables, features, and equations. Okay, go to global variables. Under global variables, type capital A, enter, and then type the first value for A. So we're going to use 10. Again, enter, and that's it. Don't worry about configuration 2. We'll get to that later. So continue with the rest. Capital B, enter, 12, enter. Capital C, enter, 1, enter. Capital D, enter, 6, enter. If I'm going too fast, just pause the video, catch up, you'll be fine. Once you have all 4 values, click OK. There, our equations have been set. If this little red light, green light thing pops up, just go up here to where you see it on the top, click on it, rebuild. It won't always clear up, but it's like this little thing SolidWorks has. Okay, so first, we're gonna start a sketch. Click on the sketch tab, then go to the sketch tool. Click on the front plane. Okay, we're gonna start off by making the center, the exterior circle, or first part of the circle. So just center circle, beginning at the origin, pop it up, smart dimension. So use the smart dimension tool. Now here's where our equations are going to come in. So when it comes time to set the dimension for that circle, you're going to click equals, and it says D for in our dimension, so we're going to use D, but click on a globe with a D6 sign is going to appear. Click on it and then press OK or the green arrow. Now, your drawing should not only be fully defined now, but our dimension has this little sigma or little addition sign here. Means that the equation is taking place. Equations are important because when you're building complex things or large things and you want to change them, or including on your CSWA, you're going to be just modifying ticks here, ticks there, and they're going to give you these equations, and all you have to do once you're done is just change them later, and everything will automatically change. Everything that's set within equation bar as equals that value will automatically change, saving you a lot of time. Okay, so now we're gonna extrude. Go to Features tab and then Extrude tool, Extrude Boss Base. Okay, our dimension says 5 inches. Perfect. Okay, green arrow. Okay, we extruded the first part. Now you can move around by clicking. Right now I lost my mouse, so it's also a little frustrating. So by left clicking and never mind, just use the space bar and click on the face you wanna continue drawing on. Okay, so now sketch tab, then sketch tool, and click on the front face. Okay, again, circle tool, center circle, and you're gonna again do it at the origin. Very simple. Now, smart dimension tool. This time you're gonna click on the outer line of the circle you just drew and on the outer circle of the extrusion. This will give you the difference, the smart dimension for the difference between them. Again, because you see here it has a C on your dimension, you're gonna click equals C and then click on the actual globe that pops up, the global variable, and set your value. Boom. Go to Features tab, Extrude Cut, and you can do a blind extrusion with a 5 inches, which would go through the entire thing, or you could go through all your preference. This really just when it comes to editing later, maybe your design you only want to go halfway, so go back and change it in the blind. So okay, now you're gonna click spacebar and you're gonna click on the back face. You're gonna turn it around, and this time we're gonna draw on this back face. So sketch tab, sketch tool, and then click on this back face. Okay, now we're drawing on the back of our design. Okay, you'll see why we're doing this. So, yep, give me a second. Let me zoom out. Okay, so use the line tool and click on the exterior edge of the outer circle, but do not click on these yellow points, okay, because they're gonna fix it to those points and you don't want it fixed to the points. Okay, we'll see why later. So click on anywhere on the orange line as long as it doesn't connect to these yellow points. Okay, and just draw part of the basic shape of what it kind of looks like. Okay, also use control, hold on to control and click on the line, this bottom line, and a properties menu on your left hand side shall appear. Click on where it says relations, add relations, click on horizontal. This will make your line perfectly horizontal. Mine doesn't look like it just because my screen is a little crooked, but trust me, if the line's there, it's horizontal. Okay, now we're gonna use another tool you haven't used yet. Okay, so in your sketch tab, there's gonna be, you have your lines, your circles, your half circles, center point slots, arcs, and all that. Now next to it, you have something called trim entities, and next to that, you have something called convert entities. Click on convert entities, and now click on this outer edge, this outer circle. All this does is it copies the line from that from the outer circle into the sketch you're doing now. Okay, so it will perfectly match that exterior line into this sketch now. And now our lines are connected to this circle, but you don't want this top part. You only want this bottom half. Okay, so go where it had trim entities. Click on that, and then click and hold. Make sure it's on power trim, and click and hold, and run your mouse up. What you just did right now. Cut the exterior line on top, which is the excess, the part of the line we don't want, but everything that was connected and down was saved. Okay, so all here, everything down here is saved. This line is being used in our sketch right now. Okay, now we begin to dimension. So let's see, smart dimension. We're gonna click on the center, and then on the bottom line. And now think about what we're doing. We're gonna keep away those 2 inches. So it's gonna be we're gonna write an equation that says a minus 2. Okay, so bear with me as we go. You're gonna click equals space a. You're gonna click on the a global variable. Okay, after that pops up, you space and then subtract 2. Click OK. And now we have our global variable set. Okay, now the bottom of this is going to be equal to b. So again, smart dimension, click on the bottom line, set it equal b. Click on the global variable and set your dimension. Perfect. But it's crooked. Easy way to fix that. So make sure you're out of smart dimension and go where your line tool's at, and click on this little arrow next to it. Click on center line. Now this center line will not affect your drawing, as in where it won't come up when you extrude it, but it will help you define things as you're about to see. So click on that center origin, so you know that is perfectly in the center of your drawing. Now go down here to where your line's at and find the center of your line. You can tell because it's usually this little yellow point, so that means that's the midpoint of the line. So make sure it's coincident at the little part. So if you see right next to my little tool, there's like a little yellow highlight where it has a line and a green dot. That means it's coincident. So these 2 points are going to be connected perfectly. Okay, so click on that. Boom, now it's connected. Get out of the center line tool. Now, again, you can either use control and click on the line and it'll do what we did last time, or you can right click on it. My bad guys, sorry. Right click on it, and you see these little, there's going to be another tab that pops up, a little like a pop-up menu, and there's going to have horizontal or vertical. It's going to be like a quick properties tab. Click on vertical. Now your drawing is perfectly symmetrical. What else am I missing? Should be no. Why is this table? Oh, okay. I see what's wrong. Okay, so these your sidelines are still blue because they could still move. If you click on them and drag them around, they still move around a circle. Okay, so quick fix to that. We make it tangent to a circle. So now you're gonna you're gonna hold control, click on the blue line. Sorry, my computer's being okay. Click on the blue line, hold control, click on blue line, and click on the exterior circle. Okay, and click on tangent. Boom. Do the same to the other side. Hold control, click on the blue line, and click on the exterior circle. Add the tangent relation. Perfect. Now we have the body, the body of our drawing. Go to features, extrude boss base. Okay. So as you can see, because we were drawing on the back, our extrusion wants to go backwards. So to change the direction, you go right here, right below directions, is gonna have this reverse sign. Click on it, and now we're drawing back to how it's supposed to be. So our width of this body is supposed to have a width of C. So here again, here too, you can also do equals C, input that global variable, click on that global variable, and extrude. And our body will have a width of C. How's that looking? Okay. Again, if I'm going too fast, just pause the video, catch up, and continue. Okay? Now, move your figure around so as to where you can see the bottom of your design. Okay, go to Sketch, Sketch tabs, Sketch tool, and click on this bottom face of your design. Okay? Perfect. Spacebar, click on the face so you're perfectly in line with it. Okay. So, corner rectangle, and make your point coincident to the bottom of it. And just, try to, don't line it up. I'll show you why in a minute. Okay. So you're gonna want to hit hold control, press on this edge of the extrusion, and press on and click on your line. Make sure you click on the line. Okay. Now make them collinear. That means that they will always be perfectly in line. Okay, so now we just have one dimension to set. The length, C. Click on the side of the dimension, and C, and 6. My bad, not C. 6 inches tall. Okay, 6 inches. Perfect. Okay. Features tab, extrude boss base. And it's got a width of 2 inches. 2 inches. Make sure it's extruding in the right way. Yes, extruding out. Correct. And perfect. Okay, we're almost done with this piece. Okay, now it's gonna get a little tricky. Please try to keep up. So click space. No, never mind. Okay, go to your sketch tab, sketch tool. Click on it. Okay, now click right here on the top left corner of in your drawing area. It's gonna have like a little where it has a Tetris like looking figure, and it's gonna say part 1, part 2, whatever part you started on. So click on the little arrow next to it. And go down to where it says right plane. We're going to be drawing on the right plane. So we're not going to be drawing on the actual figure, but on the right plane. So make sure you're able to see that right plane perfectly. Okay, so now you're going to grab your line tool and make a line that is coincident. Make sure it's coincident. Again, you can tell it's coincident if you, right next to my little tool, there's a highlighted yellow figure with 3 lines and a green dot. That means that wherever I put this point, it is going to be coincident. And you can also tell that the yellow line highlights the yellow, an orange line is highlighted. Okay, so that my line will be coincident to that orange line, orange edge. Click on it, and draw a tool. Try to make sure it's perfectly vertical. And again, there we go. So I got 2 lines that are coincident, 1 line that's coincident at both edges. Now this isn't actually coincident with my drawing. It's coincident. It's just like there's like imaginary lines in this right plane that's where it's perfectly coincident to these 2 points. Okay. So go back in our right plane. Okay. Now go to features tab and go to almost to the right end of your features. You're gonna have something called a rib. Okay, click on rib. Oh, my bad. Exit out of the rib. Okay, first we have to smart dimension this. So smart dimension, you're gonna click on your line and you're gonna click on the back edge. It's like the complete back of your design. Okay, this is set to be, we're gonna write the equation out as equals space 5 space minus space C, and click on that global variable. Okay, there we go. Now we go to our features tab, to rib. Okay, our width is, as you can see in our dimension here, is C. Okay, so make sure right here on the rib feature, you're gonna have the parameters. The first it says thickness, so make sure it's in the middle section, in the middle choice, so it extrudes evenly out. If you click on the left, it's gonna extrude more on one side. If you click on the right, it's gonna extrude to the right side. So make sure it's in the middle, so it extrudes evenly both ways. And our width is equals C. Click on the global variable, set perfectly. Make sure it's extruding in the direction that we want. If it's not, like in our case right now, click on flip material side, perfect. Now it's going to extrude downwards. Click OK. Boom. Quick, simple, no extra stress. Now, if you're able to do this, skip this video down to our next part. But if you weren't, I know Solidworks is being a little picky, and I don't know why it's been happening. But in this rib feature, it asks people to choose some people, not everybody, some people are going to be asked to choose a body or something where you want to extrude this. If it asks you that and you can't do what we just did, don't worry. I'm going to explain another way you can do it. Okay, so I'm going to suppress my feature. Okay, so now something else you can do is click on the sketch tab, click on your sketch tool, and click on this exterior body. Boom. Okay, now you want to do it this way. on the interior of your body. You want to do it this way because we're gonna have to copy this bottom edge perfectly as it is so that SolidWorks can extrude it correctly. If not, because it's a rounded edge, it will crash, and if you try to draw this from another angle. Okay, so we're gonna use our line feature again. Draw a line from this orange line. Don't click on any points. Orange line down. Make sure it's vertical. Other coincident with the other orange line. We're doing good. We're doing good. Vertical coincident. Okay, perfect. Now we're gonna use that convert entities tool again. Okay, so convert entities. The exterior edge of our circle. Okay, perfect, perfect. Again, trim entities tool and trim the outside. You know what we're not gonna need. Perfect, perfect. Now we have a shaded region that's perfectly the design that we want. Now we just have to smart dimension it pretty quickly. The bottom is gonna have a width of equals to C. Equals C. Click on the global variable. Okay. Perfect. And again, we're going to use our center line tool to make sure our design is perfectly centered. So click on the origin, on the center of the circle, you know that's perfectly centered, and find the midpoint of this little line right there. Perfect. Again, control, click on the line on our center line, make it perfectly vertical, and there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna extrude boss base. Okay, and we're gonna use our equation this time. So equals space 5 space minus space C. Click on the global variable and perfect extrude. There we go. We get the exact same. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I forgot to take into account that because we're extruding it from the thickness of the bottom plate, we have to take into account that other thickness. So you're gonna go back here after minus parentheses space 2 space times space, and then end the parentheses after your global variable C. Okay, so this way we take into account the edge, the thickness of the back plate we extruded from. Perfect, there we go. The exact same results. So as you can see, there's a million, thousands, hundreds of ways to draw the exact same thing. So I'm just giving you one simple way to do it. Okay, now in our workshop part, you can see that we have mass pounds. So for our configuration one, now to check this out, go to the evaluations tab in SolidWorks, right here in evaluate. Okay, click on mass properties. A screen should pop out, and where it says mass, we should have the exact same mass as in our workshop PDF, 28.972 pounds. Perfect. Okay. Same thing with the rib. I'm gonna suppress this feature and suppress the rib. Okay, mass properties, same thing, 28.972 pounds. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do configurations. So take configurations as different kinds of a way to make the same tool in different ways. Okay, so this, you can call this our parent feature, our parent design. Now our configuration 2 is going to come from this design. So again, like I said, this left hand side right here is called our feature manager tree. This is where you can see your boss extrude, your rib, everything you've done so far. Okay, so now in here on the top side, you see the yellow Tetris looking figure. You know what I mean. Go to the third one where it says configuration manager. Click on it. Okay. Right here where it has a green arrow, default part 2. This is the parent configuration, the one we're working on right now. So right click on it. Go down to where it says add derived configuration. Click on that. Okay. Configuration name, you just put whatever name you want to put. Configuration 2, whatever. And yeah, for this situation we're done. So okay. Now I know it looks like nothing happened, but something did. We are now on our second configuration. Okay, you can tell. Go back to where it used to have a green arrow. Okay, so right where it says configurations, below it says part 2 configurations in my video. In your video, it might say part 1 configuration. Okay. Give me a second. My battery's running low. Okay, guys, I'm back. All right. So, okay. It says part 2 configurations. Below that, it's gonna have this little arrow. Click on the little arrow that's sideways. Now it's downwards. Okay, so you see how something else pops up that says green arrow and configuration 2. This is when it has that green arrow is green, that means that's the configuration you're working on. Okay, so we're on configuration 2. Now go back to your feature manager. So click on that Tetris looking thing on the top where you clicked on configuration manager. Click on feature manager tree. Okay, we're back. Now we're gonna edit our equations. So right click on equations again, manage equations. Now before we start changing any values, first things first. So click on the line of the variable you want to change. Before you change it, right? If you where it says value or in the value, kind of walk your little mouse down. A little black figure with three blue dots are gonna appear. That means that that variable is active on all your configurations. You do not want that for this situation. Okay, so you're gonna click on the little downwards arrow that's right next to it. Not on the two up, not on the one right next to it where it's going up and down. There's like a tiny little arrow right next to this black figure with three blue dots. Click on it. A menu should appear that says this configuration, all configurations, specific configurations, and link to parent. Okay, you're gonna want to click on this configuration. Okay, that means that now whatever you change will only affect this configuration. Okay, so you're gonna do that same thing for all of them. So this configuration, I know you can't see everything as I'm doing. That's why I'm trying to explain it as much as possible. Okay, once you make sure all your values are only going to be affected by this configuration, now go ahead and change them. So 8, 10, 0.75, and 5. Click OK. And now go up to this green light, red light looking thing called rebuild and click on it. That's just good practice. Okay, now your design has changed slightly. I don't know if you were able to tell. now the box in the back is bigger than it looks bigger than what it used to be, but that's because the rest actually got smaller. Okay, now this time you can really tell. Go to your evaluation tab, evaluate, and click on mass properties. So our design has now a mass of 20.149 pounds. Perfect, exactly the mass that's on our sheet. This ends the workshop video. I'll also be making a video for parts 5 and I believe 9 on the homework to help you guys out. Okay, thank you for tuning in.